Very good evening to you. Now then, there are something like 177 goals sitting in this studio tonight, and I haven't scored any of them. But I'm hoping to put a few good crosses in and through balls for the guy who's got all of them, all 177, one of the most prolific marksmen in football. He's turned out for 8 clubs in his career and in his 3rd spell now with Sheffield United, where he is also captain. I'm delighted to welcome Billy Sharp to the studio. Billy, it's been a long chase actually. We've been on your tail for quite a long time and it's not been able to mark you.
Not my fault, that.
Not your fault?
No.
Oh, you've been...
Blame that on Cookie.
Yeah, Kevin Cookson's brilliant. He sorts you guys out, and you know the way to the studio. And even you found it. Kevin Blackwell's still going around in circles trying to find it from his visit. We've had one or two of those. Captain, we'll talk about the captaincy and what that means to you. But first of all, there's somebody very, very important we need to name check because it's gone 7 o'clock. That's quite late for one member of your family, isn't it?
Yeah, he should be in bed now, but he asked me to mention him, so hello Leo, if you're watching, get to bed.
Okay, you're right. Do as your father says now, do as your dad says. They don't, I bet well, you're not there to...
He'll be up another half an hour, I think.
Yeah, another half hour. Well, you'll put him to sleep, and if you don't, I will. The captaincy, a great honour, obviously, for you. Anything that you could ever have imagined at any time previously?
Not at all, no. Just to play for the club I was supported in the city where I live is a dream. Like you say, I've done it 3 different spells, so I've been very lucky. This time's the best time because I think I've said it before, didn't quite realise what was happening. The first time was just a couple of appearances anyway, but the second time I was, as a young boy, I thought, and had some good spells in that time, but I went away to benefit my career, and I feel as though I'm in my best shape and best form of my career as well.
Best form of your career, that's a big statement.
Yeah, I feel as I'm a better player than I was last time, obviously. I've been in a few clubs in between there, but I've had some good times while I've been away, but I always wanted to... I knew the Leeds one was getting me closer, so yeah. Leeds was a massive club. For some reason, I always wanted to play for Leeds as well, which United fans, I think, let me off because it's better than obviously playing for Sheffield Wednesday, but I knew when I got to Leeds, I always had something in the back of my mind telling me that, you know, maybe one day I could get back to Sheffield United. Yeah,
and here you are. Well, that's quite a big statement when you look at your career. And this doesn't include clubs that Billy's played for on loan. You've got Sheffield United to start with, Scunthorpe, absolutely prolific there. Sheffield United again for £2 million. You've got Doncaster, a £1 million signing there for 3 years. Southampton, £1.8 million. You've played for Forest and Reading on loan, clubs like that. So, and in the Championship scored goals. So to say that you feel in the best nick of your career is quite a big statement at 30.
Yeah, I think when I went to Southampton and I got promoted to the Premiership, I was probably in my worst shape of my career, in body-wise. I'd come back from a groin injury and an hernia problem, which the physio was absolutely fantastic at Southampton. He got me good at that point, and they're still good now. So, you know, the scientific side of football, the body fats and everything, they're all on you now, and that's what I mean by that. I've always felt as though whatever shape I was in, I could score goals, but you know, it always helps and goes a long way for your teammates as well if you can be in the best shape in any kind of sport.
So it's the fitness side that you feel completely on top of, more than at any time previously?
Yeah, and the way the gaffer wants to play this season, we need everybody to be, you know, in the best shape. So that's the reason why I was saying it benefits your teammates, because I'm captain of a football club. I can't be no longer the fat lad from Sheffield.
No. Yeah, and of course you live with this. You play on this. I think on Twitter you just say just a fat lad from Sheffield, and you lived with the Billy Blunt thing as well, didn't you, early in your career, which must have been really tiresome. I was going to use a swear word there about how you must have felt about it.
No, it's all part of football. I've always had a good relationship with the club I've played for, and I've always had banter with the opposition, and it seems to drive me on. going back to an old club a few weeks ago at Scunthorpe, you know, that they were some of the fans were still giving me a stick, even though some of them won't even know who I was and probably don't even know I played for the club. But I don't mind it. It means you're doing something right.
You scored a penalty equaliser there in quite a dramatic game. There was never any doubt that ball was going in that net, wasn't it?
No, I've managed to do well there since I've gone back the last, I think it's 4 or 5 times. So, but I did have a prolific spell there, and that stadium has proved it's had a lot of goals in there for me. So I did have a feeling that I was going to score.
The captaincy, slightly unusual for it to be a striker who's skipper, isn't it, in the game?
You might think so, but one of my heroes, Alan Shearer, he was a captain for club and country. I've always wanted to be a captain, yeah. I've done it once in an occasion for Doncaster when I lost my first son. That was an emotional night, but I was pleased that Dean Saunders on the night gave me the captaincy. It was a proud moment for me, and you know, it was a nice little taste of being captain, and the gaffer's given me the opportunity this season, and I feel as I'm growing into it, and I can only get better and take things on from other captains who have been captains at other clubs as well.
It involves things like this too, doesn't it? Off the field. I mean, if you weren't captain, you wouldn't have had to say, "Go on, then I'll do it."
I don't mind doing things like this. Media is something that I have thought about doing after football. I do keep saying, I did say when I get to 30, I'm gonna, go and do some courses and stuff like that. But it's a good experience. I feel I have got better at it, 'cause when I was younger, I was wanting an interview, and one of my mates went past, and as I was doing the interview, I said hi, and you learn from things like this, and it's nice to chat to people like you.
Thank you very much. There's time to make him change his mind on it. As captain, are you more conscious of even more conscious of keeping your place? Every player worth his salt wants to play in every game. Now, like it or not, there have been occasions when you haven't been selected. Last season, it may happen this. You just don't know. Does that kind of give you even more motivation? I'm going to stay in that team, nail that place down. I'm not, because you have got competition in that area, haven't you? Yeah,
definitely. And striker is a position where, if you're starting, then it is, and if you're drawing a game or losing a game, that the manager does look to change. So that's a part where I said to people that I'd have to change, because I did get frustrated last season when I did get brought off and when I did get dropped. But I've got to make sure I keep my focus and keep playing well. And I'm just happy that the gaffer's given me the opportunity to be captain, and obviously to be starting for Sheffield United. I've got to make sure I keep my place.
Yeah, I don't think managers like it too much when players are glad to be, or happy to they want them to show a bit of disappointment when they're brought off. I mean, you were brought off recently, and you don't want it, do you?
No. And the gaffer pulled me about that, actually. I can't remember what game it was. He thought I was having a moan up about getting brought off, but it was actually, I was moaning at Donny because I thought he should have played me in just before, and I wouldn't have managed coming off after the goal. But no, nobody likes coming off, and it's a team game, and like it's shown in the last few recent weeks when Harry Chapman came on, hasn't been starting, but came on and got us a goal, which obviously got us the points. And like I say, I've learnt over the years as getting older and more mature that it's not just about the 11, it's about a 20, 22 man squad.
And I suppose as captain as well, in terms of accepting that the manager's got the final say, you've kind of got to set an example in that area too, have you?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. If I am throwing my arms in the air like I did do last season, like I've done all my career, it's not looking good from the fans' point of view, and to your teammates, it's not setting a good example. I'm sure I will have my little slip-ups this season, but that's what the gaffer's there to nail us back down. I'm
sure he's there he's prepared to make big calls as well, because in making you captain as a talisman, it must have run through his mind, well, there might be a time when I have to leave Billy out. I'm sure he'd considered that, and he's a big enough character to do it, if need be. Yeah.
He's the man who picks the team every week, and I just have to make sure that I'm doing the things that he wants me to do on the pitch and is benefiting the club. And if I don't do that, I think I'm the first person who knows that there'll be a doubt in your head, or I might not be playing. But at the minute, I feel as though I'm contributing to the team, and I'm playing well enough to be in the team.
I remember your two previous spells at Bramall Lane, and I want to ask you, is it possible for a player to try too hard? Because that was my gut feeling watching you, toiling away, trying to get goals, and it wasn't happening for you. And I just thought, you know, he's desperate, absolutely desperate to knock one in it. Is that possible? A player can try too hard or not?
I've never understood the term trying too hard because, you know, I've always tried to work hard for whoever I've played for, and I know what people are saying. If people are snatching at chances and, you know, getting into positions and not putting them in the net, but
over anxious? I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I think obviously the first spell I don't really class it as a spell because I think I came on twice under Neil Warnock, and
it's more that second spell.
Yeah, the second spell. I was in and out of the team, and when I did play out, I was way too far away from goal, and everybody knows I score goals inside the box, not outside. But I was happy to play wherever. You know, it's for Sheffield United, and I was playing. It's better than sitting on the bench. So just tried to get the ball into the likes of Beats, Endo, and Steady, Webbs. And you know, I thought I was contributing then, and obviously I had an hat-trick for United in that spell as well, which is still one of the best moments of my Sheffield United spells.
5 goals this season, lots of power to add to that tally. Over the years, I mean, you're a Blade through and through. You grew up as a Blade. You're playing for your team. Your captain couldn't be better, and promotion will be great this season. Sheffield Wednesday have been linked with you on numerous occasions. I have written articles myself on several occasions that Wednesday are making efforts to sign you. Did it at any time ever get close?
The closest time was from Scunthorpe when I signed for Sheffield United for $2 million. There was Wolves, Norwich and Sheffield Wednesday, and I couldn't just not say no. So, and obviously it was an ex-manager, Brian Laws, so he was pestering me, and I said to him, look, I will come to you, and went to Norwich, went to Wolves, went to Wednesday. It was 2 foot underwater, the pitch, and I sat down with my dad, and I chose Wolverhampton Wanderers, and I rang Mick McCarthy. He said, look, yeah, I want to come and meet tomorrow, and he said, brilliant. And then about an hour after, Brian Robson rang, and I was like, right. I had to ring Mick McCarthy back. He swore at me on the phone a few times, said, okay, understand, put it down. The other 3 clubs was, you know, out my memory straight away, and it was only one decision. That was Sheffield United.
Yeah, Sheffield United just having dropped from the Premier League, big name manager. Everybody thought you'd go straight back. So an easy decision for you. Yeah,
I think, you know, people did say, oh, why didn't you go Wolves? I'd join your partner who I'd just been with at Scunthorpe, Andy Keogh, and if it wasn't Sheffield United, then I would have gone to Wolves. But you know, you make decisions in life, and I'm here now, and I'm back at Sheffield United.
Similar to Chris Wilder, who was poised to sign for Charlton, become their new manager, and then suddenly Sheffield United came in at the 11th hour, and it all decided itself from there. Well, you signed a 2-year contract under Nigel Adkins, so this is the 2nd year of that 2-year contract. Do you have a career plan from here?
Yeah, hopefully get to play for Sheffield United for another 2, 3 years, 4 years, and hopefully I can keep myself in shape and keep scoring goals, and hopefully I get a new contract.
Okay, but that wouldn't be something that would be broached at this time, would it? I mean, or is it? Is it something that's been broached?
I don't know. I just concentrate on my football and let my representatives, you know, talk to the club about extending my contract or what their plans are for me. And but at the minute I've got this year, and hopefully I get my clause in the contract what gets me another year as well.
Oh, so there is an option.
You have an option, so
an option for a further year. Yeah. So do you look beyond a football career, or did you have a target that you want to play to? Anything longer term?
I'd love to play as long as I can, but so I always thought Alan Shearer could have played a lot longer than he did, but he's the best for me, and he can do what he wants. But I'd like to play for as long as I can, and I love playing football still, so that's the main thing. As soon as I stop enjoying it, I think, and that's the time. Or obviously, if you get an injury, which touch wood I won't get.
Yeah. And beyond that, coaching, management, or a bit of this?
Yeah, I always didn't think coaching was for me, but I've actually got some soccer camps. I just had my first one, and I've got another one coming up, and I really enjoyed working with the kids, you know, putting a smile on their faces, and they sort of look up to me, which is it makes you proud, you know, it makes you feel like you're giving something back, and I will do my badges. That's something I will do, but it's hard when you're a footballer. You say you're going to do this, but you have to concentrate on the pitch, and then try and fit other things in off the pitch when you can.
So you are looking longer term for coaching, possibly management.
Yeah. Never say never.
But it could be a long while yet, because obviously promotion this season's the aim. You didn't have the ideal start, but you're sitting in 8th position now, and there is a good vibe around the place. Is that reflected in the dressing room?
Yeah.
I heard you on Radio Sheffield, for instance, talking about belief.
Yeah, that's what we lacked massively last season. There wasn't enough people in the dressing room who believed that we could achieve, and the gaffers brought in players who were hungry, and a big thing for me is on the training pitch. He wants us to be on the training pitch just as we are on the pitch, you know. So we're creating good habits. So it becomes easier on a Saturday. I think last season we thought we could just turn it on Saturdays, and some Saturdays we did, and most Saturdays we didn't. But the change room is good at the minute. The camp's buzzing along nicely, and got to keep that momentum going. We're 7 unbeaten, and hopefully we can keep that going Saturday.
So shin pads are worn in training, yeah? Have to be.
You don't have to, but yeah, there's no fouls, and you have to be dead for it to be a free kick. So it's intense, but that's how it should be. You know, every day should be. You should want to come into train to win, and like I say, it creates good habits, and it's only a benefit for the club on a Saturday.
I remember that was a ploy that Neil Warnock brought in right at the start of his time as manager, that he got players playing hell for leather in training matches, kicking each other. Yeah. And there was an immediate kind of galvanising effect from that. But clearly Chris Wilder believes in it on an ongoing basis.
Yeah. Just going back to that, I used to have to wear my pads on the back of my legs because Chris Morgan used to scrape down my Achilles all the time. But it's put me in good stead where I am today. Yeah, the gaffer's, you know, he is a shouter and a motivator, and I think that's a very good part of his management. But also, you know, he's come from a club that's been successful, so hopefully he can be successful at Sheffield United.
Quite a good foil between Chris Wilder and Alan Knill, who are different kinds of people, and Alan Knill was in explaining that, you know, that maybe he might be a bit more pally with the play. He's the good cop. Yeah, and Chris is the bad cop. So
we've got a fitness coach as well who's, you know, very hands-on with the players. He has it before training to make sure that we, you know, ready for training to go straight into the intense stuff. And like you say, Alan's the guy who's sort of a player and the coach. And you know, if you do want the gaffer to know anything, you report it to him, and he gets it back to the gaffer.
Right. Okay. It's all working very, very well. In part 2, we'll talk about some of your career highlights. Certainly Leeds United. You had some interesting times there, and at Doncaster Rovers. I'm going to see Doncaster again on Saturday, second successive week actually, and very entertaining they were against Barnet last Saturday. Darren Ferguson playing a very nice style of football there.
Yeah, I was surprised that they actually went down last season. But they stuck with Darren Ferguson, like I said, and you know, I think they will get straight back up, and hopefully they will do, because I've got fond memories of being at Doncaster.
Some quality players, not least James Coppinger, who you remember being a teammate of at Donny. And in part 2 as well, James Gregg will join us to round up everything that your team, your sport might well get a mention on the day that Jess Ennis has retired from athletics after a truly magnificent career. We'll reflect on that. Meantime, time for a cuppa, 5 minutes, and back, hope you're back too, with Billy Sharp. See you then. See you.